I'm so sorry. I don't know why it always crashes when I do that. Um, yes, so, as I was saying, we are back in Sorcery. Sorcery 2. Um, Last time we had just set out on our adventure, so now we are heading into the thieves' city of Care. So join me on this Christmas day as we go adventuring. I've got some champagne with me. Just take a sip of that. Merry Christmas all. Let's begin before anything else happens to the stream. The audio is still okay, guys? If the background audio gets a bit wishy-washy in terms of sound and doesn't quite fit in, just let me know and I'll change it up. Right. The crown of kings has been stolen by the Archmage and taken across the backlands to Mampang. You've been sent to get it back. Should you fail, the whole of Kakabad will surely fall. A journey began. I'm alive! From the outpost settlement in Analand, you crossed the Shamanti Hills. Along the way, you spared the life of a defeated assassin, saved a village from the plague, and fought and killed the dreaded Manticore. You faced cruel twists of fate and disease. A test of character. To survive, you used your blade rarely and your intelligence frequently, but always acted cautiously with honour and compassion. Your spirit guide changed as you changed, becoming the gorilla. But now all of that seems a distant memory, for you are approaching Care, the city port of traps.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Merry Christmas!
And a Happy New Year.
Founded on a ford of the Jabberjee River, Care was once a camp for the pirates who ambushed merchants sailing from Lake Lumley to the sea. But the camp grew, it became a village, the village became a town, and now Care is a magnet for ne'er-do-wells and thieves, ruled over by a council of villains. It cannot be avoided, or let the city do its worst. It cannot be avoided. You would go round it if you could, but now I need a Thompson SMG for New Year just for saying that.
Yay!
Mooney! Mooney, what you doing? Oh my god, thank you for the 5 gifted subs! Ah! Merry Christmas, Mooney.
Yay!
You're a treasure to us all. Oh my god. That's amazing. Thank you, Mooney. He's missed me. Oh, you're already sub Jackal. Oh, Mooney. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Right, back to the story before I get too overwhelmed. You would go around it if you could, but on the far side is the North Gate, the only entrance to the backlands and the next stage of your journey. For the good of the kingdom, you must enter the city port of traps and make it out alive. Thanks for the gift, sub. Veridor subbed. He's got a little moon next to his name, and I will keep being a sub. Oh, thank you, Jackal. I really appreciate that. Continue. Inkle presents. There's a couple of games by Inkle that I wouldn't mind doing on stream. Have you guys ever heard of the 80 Days game? That's one. And then they've brought out 2 more. One of them's a bit religious-y, so I don't know if I should do that, but some of the others might be worth doing. And there's me, there's us. Little adventurer. So the last thing we was doing, we were leaving the Manorcs after saving their princess. They gave us some food, gold, and a key to get into the city. So that's where we were last time. Twilight already. The great city of Care has loomed large on the horizon all day, but has been slow to reach, the path tracing great loops back and forth through a deep and narrow pass. There it is. This is the path that we're walking. Walk on. You have not seen a living soul except once, when a dark figure raced across the hilltops overhead, and then was lost from view. So you are naturally cautious when you round a bend in the path and see a beggar crouched low against a rock, muttering to himself. Continue. The beggar. Beggars usually always have information. You stop, out of sight behind an outcrop, but the beggar does not look like much of a threat. Wait and watch, try to slip past or approach. I think we can approach him. I mean, it might be a trap, but we've got our wit and sword, so we should be fine. Oh, Cat also has a new channel point redeem. Ah, yes, it's the Ask Me Anything. If you spend 2,000 points, you can ask me an anything question, with only one rule being, don't let me dots myself. So yeah, if you've got the points, you can redeem them on a question to me. And yeah, I have to answer honestly. No skirting around the question, no matter how cringeworthy or embarrassed I get. So yeah, I hope my jokes was alright, Cat. Oh, the ones in the Discord. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Don't you worry. Approach him. Yeah. You call a greeting and stride over. It's how I am sometimes. No, don't worry, I found it funny. You call a greeting and stride over, and the man leaps to his feet, drawing a short stick from inside his cloak. Who goes there? He demands. What's your business and care? Greetings, old man. I am a traveller. I am on a quest. Get out of me. Greetings, old man. Oh. Greetings, old man. Enough of your greetings, the beggar spits back. I asked you a question. Who are you, and where are you headed? I am a traveller. The man pokes his stick at you. A traveller? Travelling where? The Backlands, Care. That is my business, not yours. We just tell him the truth. We're going to Care. Obviously Care, but why? He prods harder. Answer me, or you'll face the consequences. What consequences? Step aside, old man, or who are you? Let's do who are you. Who are you, you ask? You're certainly very brave. The man beams with age and pride. I am the city guard. No one enters Care except through me. And then, despite his age and clear ill health, he comes at you, waving his stick. I won't fight you or fight him. Oh, music turned down? There we go. I don't like your tone, mate. You will be in the grave really fast if you keep it up. I don't want to fight him. I won't fight you. You tell him. You are unarmed. He waves the stick close to your face, jabbing a few times, but you push the point aside with one hand. All right then, he declares. We'll settle this fairly. He tosses the stick to one side and raises his fist. The knuckles are blackened with scabs. Oh, he's not going to give up, is he? So let's fight him. Sighing, you roll up your sleeves. In a fist fight, damage is lower and power refreshes more quickly. Should we go for a big old hit? A pulverize. Oh, he tricked me. The beggar's not a powerful opponent. You should be able to easily overpower him. So you begin with a heavy punch, giving it everything you have. The beggar lifts his fist in defense, so you land the minimum amount of damage against him. Prepare to see stars, he declares. You better put 'em up for a strong attack or you're captured. Yeah, okay, we know that. Block. You defend yourself. The beggar attempts a strong attack, but you receive only a small amount of damage. He will be weaker now, so his next attack will be lower. He puts his guard up. A strong attack would be wasteful now. A light jab will do as much damage and save your power. Do jab. Jab, jab, jab. You play it carefully and punch with a weak attack, rushing for the beggar, who is defending. He is breathless and about to swing with little force. Now you just stand there while I hit you, he pants. Make a medium attack. Do a thump. Ho-ho. Done. You tense your biceps, then swing with a strong arm, overpowering the beggar again. The beggar pants and groans, and then collapses into the dirt. 1 stamina lost. Brilliant boxing. Continue. You roll your sleeves back down. All right then, he murmurs into the ground, weakly waving a hand. You can pass. Let's help him up. Holding out a hand, you help him upright. He sits up. Close quarters combat. Yeah, definitely. He sits up and dusts down his tattered clothing, a grey cloak that was once a uniform. He is shivering. The evening is drawing in, and it must get cold out here. You don't have any food, do you? He asks sadly. No, we'll give him something to eat. We'll give him something to eat. You rummage in your pack and pull out a hunk of bread and cheese. Here. The man grabs it and eats gleefully, like a wild dog. He murmurs and grumbles to himself as he does so. Farewell, good luck, come with me. Come with me. You take pity on the man. Come with me. I'm going into Car. It's one of the two. The soldier considers your offer for a moment as he chews. You're sure? I know the word for the wall, but they will not want to let me through the gate. Sounds like we can help each other. He clambers slowly to his feet. A gleam of hope has entered the poor man's eyes. Very well then, stranger. A trade. Continue. Follow the pass. The beggar walks a few strides ahead, the ghost of a military pace in his step. What's your name? Or walk inside. What's your name? Captain Thomas of the 4th Legion, responsible for the southern perimeter, my lady. He knots his bony heels together. At your service. What are you doing out here, soldier? I think you're doing. What are you doing out here, soldier? We were sent out to investigate sightings, he replies, still panting for breath. A whole legion of us, back when the council felt bold, but then they locked the gate and wouldn't let us back. Where's your legion now? Sightings of what? They locked us. Where's your legion now? He won't answer, just shakes his head and points sharply downwards. The path winds through gorse and thick grass. Care squats in a basin in the hills, like a stagnant festering pool. You turn one corner, then another, and then the stone walls of the city are looming over you. For the past 5 minutes, I had to try and open a bottle of Pepsi Max. Open, you son of a... Oh no! Is it a plastic lid or a metal one? Yeah, get a tea towel. If you know what that is. Are they called the same things in other countries? A cloth. That will help. The end of the pass. I will get one. I will get it open. You can do it. The walls weren't built to keep anything out, Thomas says. They were built to keep people in. Care is one gigantic trap itself. Why I will be leaving and you want to... let's just find out why. Why, you ask? Are the people inside not happy? Would you be happy, ruled by pirates and thieves? He points. Cast your eyes up. You can see them. Archers, facing in both directions. You could scramble up the slope to the right to get a better view of the wall. Continue. Let's have a look. You scramble up the slope for a better view of the wall, leaving Thomas below. It seems your new friend was right. Standing atop the huge stone blocks is a guard with a long bow slung across his shoulder. Ask the soldier's advice. You call down to your companion. What should we do? Don't worry, he replies, tapping his temple. I knows the watchword, don't I? He strides forward confidently. You follow him into the clearing. The guard on the wall raises a hand to shield his eyes from the sun. Who goes there? He bellows. Friend or foe? You wait, and Thomas cries back, Friend, and the watchword is Cantipani. The guard pauses a moment, then lowers his bow. Approach! Thomas turns and smiles at you. Approach the gate. So we're at the south gate right now. The south gate stands before you. It is as tall as two men and would be broad enough to ride 3 horses through, if only it were open. But instead it is locked, and there is no other way into the city. Luckily, of course, you have a key. Over to you, says Thomas, stepping back. Knock on the door, unlock the gate with a Sven chief's key, cast a spell. Unlock the gate. You quickly remove the Sven chief's key from your pack and slip it into the lock. The tumblers click as the key turns. Thomas hangs back. As soon as I opened the bottle, Benjamin stole the cloth. Aww, bless him. Well, at least you got it open now. Thomas hands back. Good work, but do you think it's safe to go through? I'm sure it is. Why don't you check? I'll go first. Let's wait. Yeah, I just let him have it. I'll go first. I'll check out the place. I'll go first, you reply. You ease open the door, peering cautiously inside. There is no one about. Continue. Through the gate. How is it? Thomas hisses from outside. Seems safe enough. Seems safe enough, you reply, beckoning him inside. Come on. He follows you inside the wall. The yard by the gate indeed seems empty enough. A path leads away, past a low stone building with barred windows. Thomas catches your gaze. That's a holding cell, he says. It's where they put people they don't know if they can trust. I think they let them go again a day later. It's just to see how much trouble there'll be. Look into the building. You peer in through the bars. Thomas shakes his head. Don't waste your time, he says. Best avoid it. Suddenly, he catches your arm. Footsteps, he hisses. Duck behind the building or hurry out the yard. Duck behind the building. You hurry over to the wall of the building and crouch down, a heartbeat before 2 soldiers come round the corner. But Thomas has not followed your lead. The soldiers see him immediately and rush him. He weaves this way and that across the yard, manages to slip between them, and disappears with a whoop down the road to the left. Just imagine an old man go whoop! The yard falls suddenly quiet once more. You straighten up and hear a noise through the barred window of the stone building. A sneeze? Look through the window. What a fast lad. Definitely a fast lad. The building might be useful. It might be a storehouse, or better yet, an armory. Standing on tiptoes, you peer in between the bars. Not a storehouse, then. The building is quite bare, except for a wooden bench on which an old man is sitting. Attract his attention. Try the door and continue on. Let's attract his attention. You wave at the window, but the old man doesn't look up. He seems to be staring very determinedly at the bench, or perhaps he is asleep where he sits. Try the door. You go over to the door of the building. The key is still in the lock. Go inside. You turn the key and unlock the door. Continue. And this is probably where I get locked in. You'd at least take the key out the door as you go in, wouldn't you? The small room is dark, lit only by the narrow barred window. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust to the gloom, so you don't notice that the door, which must be heavily weighted, has swung shut until you hear it lock behind you. The old man who is watching sniggers with contemptuous glee. There's the old man and the rat. It's our new friends. Continue. Greet him or ignore him. After all that, you wouldn't ignore him, would you? You step towards the shadowy bench. Greetings, old man. Oliver the rat. He ignores you. He's concentrating hard on something on the ground just in front of him. a collection of small stones scattered as though for fortune telling. After a moment, he gathers them up and tosses them again. You notice that his other hand is missing completely. The left sleeve of his tunic hangs limp by his side. Cast a spell, ask about his arm, look at his stones. Let's look at the stones. You step over to peer at his stones, but he snatches them up quickly into his palm. If you want to play, he says defensively, then you have to bet. Look at his stones. Ayo! Play what? Why, the man replies with a shark-like grin. Swindle stones, of course. Maybe he's lost his arm from war, maybe? Probably, although if it's a thieves' city, I feel like it's probably tried to grab something and got his arm cut off as punishment. It's usually what they do when people are thieving. Swindle stones? Swindle stones, you ask, intrigued. Stranger in town, don't know how to play, better and better. He shows you one of his stones. It is a strange, 4-valued die. Sit. He pats the bench inside him, beside him, with his one hand. Play. We can talk while I beat you. You'll have to teach me the rules. My lucky day, he grins with his one remaining tooth. It's easy. We each roll a dice in secret, but we bet on what we've rolled in total. You call if you think the other player has bid too high. The loser gives away a dice. You go over to the bench, intrigued. Okay, we each roll our dice in secret, but we bet on what we've rolled in total. You call if you think the other player has bid too high. The loser... Okay, I think I get that. Join him. The old man drops 4 dice into your palm and sweeps away a patch of dust on the bench for you to play. I'll go first, he says, waving his hand, show you how it's done. Roll the dice. Ah. So we got a 5, a 1, a 2 and a 3. The game is simple. We roll and bet on what's come up. So for instance, I might start and bet that between us we've rolled at least 2 twos. But we don't know what's on the table, so I'm guessing. So if he's betting 2 twos, that means he has a 2, and I have a 2. So if I then do 3 2, I'm confused. Yeah, I slightly remember this from when I played ages ago, but that was a long time ago. So if I bid 3 twos, didn't you hear my last bid? That's a clue at least, unless I was trying to mislead you, of course. So now he's bet 4 twos. Now I don't think between us, because I've only got 1, so that means he has to have 3 twos, and he's only got 4 dice. So I'm going to call his bluff and say, I think you're trying to mislead me. Cool. Only 3 twos. The round is yours. Okay. I think that makes sense. I think they play, so it's like blackjack. I don't know how blackjack works, but I presume so. It's basically a game of numbers and lying. I think there was a scene in Pirates of the Caribbean that did this, which is why. So I am confused. I think they call it like devil dice or something like that. Apparently, it's quite a famous like dice game. But yeah, if Mooney says it's like blackjack, I'm gonna go with that because I've never played blackjack. But I think the whole point is you need to like keep bluffing each other.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
Hydrate. Can I hydrate with champagne? There we go. Merry Christmas. Sure, why not? No rules apply on Christmas. Roll dice again. So I've just stolen one of his dice. Okay. So now it's my turn. So what do we have? We have 2 twos, See, we could go all high now, so because we've got 3 5s. No, 3 4s. Bloody hell, I don't know how dice work. Um, so if I, he's not going to believe that I've got 3 4s. Then I will drink some soap. No, don't drink soap. Not unless you've been swearing too much. Do you know Car well? Bid 3 4s. As well as anyone. Why? See, he got me there. Because he has a 4. So if I now call 5 4s, he might not believe me. I need directions to the north gate. Let's give it a chance. Bid 5 4s. The north gate? Now, why ever would you want to go to the north gate? No one goes there. Now, I don't believe this sits, so I'm going to call. That's my business, not yours. Only 5 4s. The round is yours. Bloody hell. I thought I was going to be screwed on that last round. What we got? See, again, we could go, there's 3 2s. Because he might not believe us. So you think you can just walk across town and out the other side, do you? That's exactly what I'm doing. Bid 3 2s. Oh, that's the funniest thing I've heard all day. Cool. I got you, mate. There were 3 2s. The round is yours. Cat, I do what I want. Okay. I will not be held responsible for the actions of my viewers. I can only say, don't do it. Roll dice again. 3 2s again. Let's just go straight for that. See if he believes us. What do you know about the north gate of the city? Bid 3 2s. Tastes like candy to me. Oh dear. I'm sure you won't need my advice, but I do need your advice, and you should really believe me. Yay, we won. We won. Continue. I win, don't I? The old man nods, gathering up the dice. I went easy on you, of course. Rematch? Yeah, we won. Thanks for the game. I enjoyed beating you. The pleasure was mine, the old man says bitterly, putting his dice back into his pocket. He leans back against the stonework and hums quietly to himself. Continue. Try and escape. You go over to the door, locked of course from the outside. We could try picking the lock, cast a spell, or do something else. Let's try a spell. It's DOP, isn't it? D-O-P. Open locks and doors. You aim the spell of opening towards the door and slowly, quietly let it go. The lock's rusted tumblers click over in response. Very good, the old man chuckles. Check outside. You check outside. The yard is empty. While you have been locked up, the sun has sunk below the wall. You should be able to walk right out of here under cover of darkness. The old man is less cautious. He is up and out the door like lightning. Continue. Leave the prison. Oh shoot, I forgot the gift for Eleanor. Oh no! It's still Christmas, technically, so it's fine. The old man is spry, despite his age, and is quickly far ahead of you. You seem to be forever rescuing old men, first from the tree outside Canterbury, and now from prison. Champagne break. Yum yum yum. Okay. Do, do, do. Okay. Make sure I got my water as well. Don't want to have champagne and no water. It is, and good thing that the gift was beside me. It's a mouse that made sounds. Oh, that sounds so cute. Continue. I hope she enjoys it. A junction. At the end of the yard, the road splits. Looking left, you see the guard lined up in rows. Running drills. Best not to head that way. To the right, the road leads towards the first buildings of Car. You can just see the old man disappearing off in this direction. Continue. Let's follow the man. Let's go right. I think these maps are so like... I'll just click off this for a sec. They're like really cute, aren't they? Like, look at this. Isn't that cool? They're very cool. I think they're very cool anyway. So let's... Okay, we need to sleep. It is a really cool map. Let's try the inn. We've got some gold, so... a sign outside the inn proclaims it is the Crooked Finger. Well, that doesn't sound good. Enter. You go inside and find an empty bar. The bartender is snoozing at the counter. Clearly, trade is bad. Continue. Approach the bar. The bartender waits with a snortle as you approach. Greetings, traveller, he yawns. You'll be looking for directions to somewhere else, I suppose. I wish to take a room. No trouble, the innkeeper says. 7 gold pieces. That is extortion. Haggle? Oh. 7 gold pieces is robbery, you tell him. The innkeeper shrugs. Care prices might not be what you're used to, he says, but you can sleep in the street if you prefer, and then maybe you'll see why they're as high as they are. Should we find out if he plays swindle stones? See if we can bet the cost of the room. Or should we take our chances and go outside? I don't really have a lot of gold, so I don't want to lose it. Just pay. Okay. So we paid. And take them back in the morning. Let's go upstairs. Ah. The man shows you upstairs to a room. It seems clean enough. There are no rats on the bed, and the linen seems to have been washed at least once this month. Continue. I mean, if no one else is staying here once a month, it's probably not too bad. If other people are staying here, that is not good enough. After your long day of walking, the thought of a real bed is a welcome relief. You settle down. Sounds like my bed. Eat something before sleeping. So we need to get some rations as well, guys. You eat the last of your cheese and bread, then settle down to sleep. The sounds of the city drift to you on the night air, shouts and screams and the occasional distant howl. You doze fitfully. Dream. Your dreams, when they come, are of the wall, like a towering monster, drenched in moss and slime. The gate, its wide open maw. As you watch, it reaches down with fingers made from flagpoles and skewers. The old beggar man, lifting him, flailing into the air. And skewers the old beggar man, lifting him, flailing into the air. Meanwhile, the one-armed prisoner throws the knuckles of his missing hand onto the bench, over and over, calling endlessly to himself. And it is though you can see the crown sitting in the dust on the far side of the north gate, so close and yet out of reach. I mean, beside the cats, I'm the one who's sleeping in it. Continue. The next morning. You feel better for your night's rest. Going downstairs, you find the bartender miserably counting coins on the bar. Need anything, he asks hopefully. Provisions or directions? Provisions? The innkeeper shakes his head. I don't have any food. Tried the flayer's hut. Middle road, up through the fields. He does a good stew. You thank him and take your leave of the inn. Continue. Head to the road. Outside, the air tastes fresh. It has rained a little overnight. A little distance from here, a busy crossroads marks the start of the city. Continue. The crossroads. I've never been in an inn before. No, I don't think I have. And I'm British, and we have old-timey inns pretty much everywhere. So Um, Following the track for a few minutes, you reach a junction where three roads begin. These are the outskirts of Care. Huts huddle like beggars on either side of the tracks, leading uphill into the city port. Pause to look around. It must be clear to everyone around that you are a stranger in these parts. The city's inhabitants, a multitude of malevolent creatures who would kill for the laces of your boots, turn to watch you as they pass. You are sport, a figure to be jostled and robbed, and one who will most likely fall prey to the strange, elaborate system of traps laid across Care by the early settlers to protect themselves from one another. Look at the paths. There were more people here than you've seen in a long time. You cast an eye across the faces to see if any are Flanker, the assassin you met outside Torapani, your only friend in this city. Look left. To the left, you see a group of scruffy youngsters walking up the road with packs on their backs. Look ahead. Ahead is the main road into the centre of Car, its surface rutted from cartwheels. Further in the distance, you see fields. This is the route taken by supply wagons to the docks. And look right. To the right, the track heads towards fields. A hut stands proud a little further on. The business of this place is confusing, but you have to simply strike out. The north gate awaits. Just at that moment, a cart rolls down the road from the right and careens around the corner to take the main track ahead. On its back are stacked several crates. One teeters for a moment, then falls near your feet, its lid cracking open. Oh, free stuff! Look in the crate. Kneeling down in the mud, you prise open the crate with your fingers. Inside is a pile of smashed bottles. Thick purple liquid swirls about, littered with shards of glass. There are perhaps 4 bottles still intact, but you recognise the smell. It is Blimberry, a potion with many healing properties. Take 4 bottles. How can you be British and not be in an inn? Blasphemy. It's like what we said in the last stream. I'm a city cat. Don't venture to the countryside. Hold on, my hair is in my way. There we go. You take all of the bottles, wipe them down as best as you can on the grass nearby, and put them into your pack. A lucky find indeed. Next time you tell me you don't like a pine. Next time you don't. Beer! Oh yeah, I don't like beer. No, not a beer fan. Blimberry juice will heal you and will also do for a meal. Continue. Let's go right. There seems like some sort of festival going on here. You head right alongside a wide track until you reach a large hut. It is the only building on this path that is still standing. Yeah, it's not for everyone. Yeah, really not a beer fan. It is the only building on this path that is still standing. Either side are empty plots, once the houses of the farmers who planted the fields to the north. They are now collapsed and thick with gripweed. I think that's how you pronounce that. It seems that here, in the shadow of the city wall, is not a place people choose to live. Look at the remaining hut, look ahead, or make a move. Let's look at the remaining hut. By the side of the door to the hut is a sign, delicately painted, Chainmaker. The door is just a crack ajar, and from within you hear a gentle tinkling sound. Metal on metal, as though a creature in a chainmail dress was endlessly pacing the floor. Listen at the door, look ahead, make a move. Let's listen at the door. You pause a moment longer and listen closely to the door, but there were no voices or footsteps from within, just the sound of the chains. Look ahead. From somewhere further on comes the falling and rising sound of a crowd. Some kind of event is taking place. There are several places you could go next. Continue. Let's go into a chain maker. Having a chain might be a good idea. You push open the hut door and enter. It is dark inside. The floor is sawdust, and the air smells of oil, polish, and burnt metal. From the ceiling, hanging like ivy, are metal chains of all lengths and thickness, some suitable for machinery, some for oxen, and others for arms and feet. The chains shift and whisper to themselves. There seems to be no one here. There is another room beyond. Its door is hanging open. That when the chain makers. Oh god, that is a lot of chains. I thought that was a tree for a second then. Call out a greeting, search the room, try the far door. Oh, let's see if we can get any free stuff. Search the room. No shop owner in care should leave their wares unattended. You begin to carefully search. Bleh. You begin to carefully search the room. Try not to set the chains to rattling. What? What's up, Jackal? Was it the Pokemon? It's a bit weird that you guys aren't catching it. Don't know what that means. Damn Pokemon. Search along the left wall. You start your search near the left wall and come across a small box containing 3 gold pieces, which you take. Search along the right wall. A high cupboard is fixed to the right hand wall. Inside you find a glass container labelled in the same hand as the shop sign. Blimberry juice, which you take, so you now have 5 lots of the potion. Look under the table, look by the far door, look near the door to the shop. Let's look near the door to the shop. As you move across the room, you stumble clumsily into a chain and it begins to swing, hitting other chains on either side. The far door opens and a Sven, a Manok from Tarapani, appears and looks like he is angry. The chainmaker growls fiercely and snatches up a particularly heavy length of metal, holding it like it was thread. Fight him, talk my way out of this. I'm not stealing from you, you reply calmly. I called out, but you didn't hear me. I heard nothing, the chainmaker growls suspiciously. Exactly, you must have been working, I'm very quiet. Exactly. The chainmaker stops and thinks about this. I understand, he says. Alright, so, he halts his approach. You want chains? Look for chain to buy, I need directions, or he's, look for chain to buy. You look around the shop. A chain after unremarkable chain, but then one stands out. A short length of silver, which seems to be moved more energetically than those swaying on either side. The chainmaker nods. Good chain, he says. Magic chain. How much does it cost? He sizes you up, thinking you must be wealthy. It's 5 gold pieces. What does it do? Magic, the stubborn creature replies. Yeah, I'll buy it. You hand over the 5 gold pieces he wants, happy that 3 of those 5 pieces are his anyway. You shake the chainmaker's hand and take the chain. It is clearly enchanted. The ends seem to snap and bite at one another like amorous snakes. Good for taking out their knees, the chainmaker explains. You head out of the shop. Walk on. If you say chains one more time, cat, then as in chains will soon them bones. Chains! I think that will be the last of the chains, I promise. You continue along the road. The land rises gently. A thin Miyaga scrub broken by rocky outcrops like teeth through an infant's gum. That's a weird metaphor. It's a good song though. Yeah. Goats roam the slopes, paranoid shifty creatures who flee at the sound of your footsteps. Oh, I hope it's the goats that if you spook them, they just sort of pass out. I know that's really bad and sad, but they're also quite cute. Suddenly, you could be back in the fields outside Kristatanti. This part of the city port is barely inhabited, so should be safe enough to pass through quickly. Your stomach rumbles with hunger, but you have no more food. Oh, bear with me, guys. I'm taking my dressing gown off. Oy. Keep walking. You continue walking along the track and begin to hear the sound of a large crowd up ahead. There's some kind of market or fair happening further on, near the river. You pass a dirt track on the left that leads away across the fields. Continue. Let's go to the festival. I bet we can get some stuff there. The crowd. You continue along the road towards the noise. After a few minutes, you're walking between tall poles and rippling coloured flags. People and creatures sprawl across the path, and several tents have been erected. Ayo! Their poles joined together by more flags. Cat undressing for Christmas? Has she drunk that much? It was warm. I've got my pyjamas on, look. My Christmas pyjamas. With my Christmas puds. For some Nautica, I can find a guide for it. No, don't worry. I'm going to do that in the new year, and I'm going to go in blind. I feel like that will add to the fear factor, which I don't want to do. But, I said I'll do it at 100 followers, so I have to do it now. But yeah. Oh well. I will be here to laugh. I mean, holding your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Approach. You ease your way into the edge of the gathered crowd. It all looks good-spirited and fun. And with so many people here, perhaps you will pick up useful information. Look around, listen, explore the fair. Let's look around. You look at the various events. There are a group of musicians playing a merry jig for a troupe of dancers. Elsewhere, a dwarf has trained a dancing bear on a lead, and on one side, watched by a hollering and cheering crowd, a ruffian is calling for challengers to take on his champion in bare-knuckle combat. It is quite a spirited affair. Continue. The end of the midway. You walk to the south end of the fairground midway. A boy with a barrel stands off to one side, and a dull-looking tent stands near the river. There are more exciting stalls further north. Continue. Let's go to Barrel Boy. You approach a boy standing by a barrel and looking sheepish. What are you selling? The boy points into his barrel but doesn't answer. What is this festival? The boy shrugs but says nothing. Why don't you speak? The boy shrugs but doesn't seem to want to answer properly. Look in the barrel. You peer into the barrel. It is full of small, hard apples. Most are blackened by disease or else are shot through with maggot holes. Your apples are all rotten. The boy shakes his head, then picks one up from the barrel. He squeezes it hard in his fist, but nothing happens. Then he drops it sharply back into the bucket. How much is an apple? You ask, despite the fact it is hard to imagine anyone paying for one. The boy holds up a single finger with one hand and all 5 fingers of the other. 6 gold pieces? 1 gold piece for 5 apples? Or 5 gold pieces for 1 apple? No, I don't have enough gold, so I'm going to leave it. Never mind, you mutter. You turn your back on the boy and head back to the midway. Sounds like bad apples. Gross. Definitely sounds like bad apples. The fair spreads out all around you. Hawkers announce the various attractions at the top of their lungs. The general atmosphere is cheerful, with just a hint of violence. Let's go to the small tent. You approach the small tent by the door. A young elven woman is collecting the entrance fee. 1 gold piece, she declares, winking at you. What's inside? Marco the Amuser, she replies, still smiling and winking. Perhaps there is something wrong with her other eye. Just imagine, you think she's winking at first, but she's got, a twitch. He's very funny. 1 gold piece. Okay, let's do it. You hand over 1 gold piece, and the elven woman steps aside and gestures inside the low tent. Too much coffee does that to you. It does, yeah. Enter the tent. No. The inside of the tent is dark. There are no candles or lanterns, and the cloth is thick black velvet preventing any sunlight leaking inside. In the center of the floor, a man with green hair is sitting cross-legged, his eyes closed. Greet the man. And how are you worth 1 gold piece, you demand? The man doesn't move, his eyes are still closed, he seems to be breathing very deeply. There is deep silence inside the tent. The business of the fair outside is quite forgotten. Approach him. You step closer, expecting the man to leap up or react, or in fact do anything, but he simply sits there as you approach to within arm's reach. From here, it is clear his green hair is in fact a wig. We can grab his hair, leave, or cast a spell. Let's cast a spell, and then see if we can grab his hair. Let's try D O Z. Called slowness. You cast a spell over the man in the tent. Nothing about him seems to change, as he isn't moving. Perhaps his breathing slows down a little. Grab his hair. You reach out and pull the wig off the man's head. He reacts to catch your arm, but under the influence of your spell, he moves too slowly. You put the wig into your pack. He complains, but so slowly that you cannot understand the words. You step back outside, where the elven woman smiles at you. Did you enjoy? She asks. Yeah. Yes, you lie. Oh good, the elven woman replies. Marco will be pleased. Everyone else today thought he was rubbish. She waves to you as you leave. From across the field comes a murmur of excitement. Then quite suddenly, a small tornado lifts the tent sharply up into the air and away. Yeah. Don't think it's going to like the fact that I stole his wig. Middle of the midway. You push your way through the crowds to the very heart of the fair and look around at the attractions on offer. Neat. We got a wig. We did, and it's green. Funky colours. Continue. We got beer tent or a dancing bear. Let's have a look at the dancing bear. You cross the fair to join a crowd gathered at a safe distance around a dancing bear. A dwarf stands in front of the bear, holding a lead that's fastened to a ring in the creature's nose. Aw, that's so cruel. See my beauty dance, he growls, jerking the cord. The bear stumbles around in obvious pain. Aw, I don't like this. We got a weed wig. As he tugs the cable, he plays a pipe with great gusto. The crowd are in stitches of laughter at the poor bear's performance. Can we free the bear? Free the bear! The dwarf is clearly a rogue of some kind who does not deserve the attention of the crowd, and you wonder what the bear might do if the cord holding it back were cut. But there are several people in the way, and the dwarf is unlikely to let you near. Draw my sword, create a distraction, or cast a spell. Let's cast a spell. Let's be wizards. Let's try. What's T? Oh no, that's A. Oh, T? No, L. A. W. Control non-intelligent creatures. That's one. Oh, we got Z. A. P. Create lightning. All the wrong button presses. What's T? E. L. Read minds. Oh, let's try this. Actually, no, that's not really a distraction one. K. I. D. Create illusions. N. I. P. Cause speed. Or we can create stench. Nope. Yeah, let's do zap. You cast a spell, but for some reason nothing happens. It's most curious. Suddenly, a cry goes up from somewhere in the audience. My gold! My gold! Pickpocket! Beware, there is a pickpocket at work. You and the rest of the crowd spin round towards the voice, and see a small creature darting off away from the crowd and into one of the tents. Chase him! You elbow your way through the crowd, hoping to grab the pickpocket, but there are too many people in the way. By the time you have pushed to the edge of the crowd, the little figure has vanished. Someone shouts, "What's happening to the dwarf?" Cat, are you stealing it? It's not me. It's not me. I'm not the pickpocket. I stepped away for a moment. What's happening with the dancing bear? I'm trying to free him, Mooney. Look back at the dwarf. You good. Murder the mean man, definitely. You turn to see the dwarf and bear disappearing into the floor, as if they were sculptures of ice, now melting. Just illusions, perhaps? The crowd are out for blood now. It seems several of them have been robbed, turning on one another. Accusations of theft begin to fly this way and that. Things are turning ugly, and you are caught in the middle of it. Let's get away from... Oh no, that's not what I wanted to press! In the tumult, you wait for an opportunity. In every fight, there will always be some gold. In every fight, there will always be some gold pouches swinging low for the plucking. You will knocked about a fair bit, but as you wait, finally you see a bulging wallet just inches from your grasp. Look at the owner. Glancing up at the owner of the wallet, you find yourself staring into the huge face of a mountain man. "You're a thief, are you?" the man asks. Talk my way out of it. "I'm no thief," you tell him. "I bet he's got plenty of gold on him," remarks another voice nearby in the crowd. It's a trigger that sends the mountain man, who has just been robbed himself, into a fearsome rage. This was not what I wanted to happen. Oh no. Let's do big boy attack. Round 1, fight. The mountain man raises his stone-like fist defensively. You gulp and swing a punch for his Adam's apple. The mountain man grins with pleasure at escaping mostly unharmed. The muscles in his arm tighten. Block. You drop back, lifting your fist. "Let's see what that skull of yours is made of," he declares, as he comes at you regardless. You block his hammer-strong blows, leaving him panting. They do a bash. You set your stance. "Look out!" someone nearby calls, but it's too late. Leaping up, you grab him round the neck and pull down. The mountain man struggles violently, trying to shake you off, and you flail, knocking down other members of the crowd on either side. He lifts his guard to cover himself. He chuckles with relief, still in one piece. Let's do a thump. You maintain the momentum. You shove him backwards into the cloth canopy of a tent. The mountain man grabs a nearby crowd member and tries to throw him at you, but you dodge and punch him twice in the temple. The mountain man stops and spits blood into the dirt. "You little rough rat," he growls. Let's do a block. You circle away from the mountain man. He lumbers towards you carelessly. You deflect his haymaker blows, leaving him gasping. He twitches right. Let's do a bash. Yeah, we won! Enough of this. You grab a nearby bottle and break it against his head. The final punch makes the
Fatality!
head spin. It was a fatality. Oh, never mind, he curses, throwing up his hands. "Keep your gold, thief." With that, he stomps away, punching a few other people as he goes. Ask me anything from Mooney. Small break to embarrass Cat. Tell us about your first celebrity crush. First celebrity crush. Okay, does it count if it's from a cartoon and not technically human? Does that count? Of course. It would have to be Simba from The Lion King. That was my first celebrity crush. He has a great voice, and the mane on that lion. So, yeah, that's embarrassing. And then I'd have to go Simba and then Aladdin. From the Disney version, of course. So that's when you started wishing to be a cat. Oh my. I mean, I'm not a big cat. I'm not a wild cat. Well, I am a wild cat, but I am lazy like a lion, so cats are cute though. Yeah, cats are cute. Even in Disney films. So that was our first Ask Me Anything question. Long live the king. I mean, I had a bit of a thing for Scar as well because I quite like a villain. So, uh, yeah. Cats are cute, but I'm not hearing Cat think Simba was cute. I'm hearing she thought he was sexy. He was sexy. I mean, did you see him do Hakuna Matata? The way his hips wiggled. Yeah, so probably Simba and Scar then, because from the same film. There you go. Moving on. Continue. You slither your way back out of the crowd to the main part of the fair. Scar real name is Taka. Yeah, there's like a whole lore behind the lines of Lion King. I see them occasionally, and my niece liked to watch. Oh God, what's it called? Lion Guard, which sort of delves into it a bit more. But yeah, I kind of read somewhere about his name being Tucker, and then he got the scar and sort of renamed himself or something like that, as most villains do. If they get a distinguishing feature. Uh, you slither your way back out of the crowd to the main part of the fair. From somewhere nearby, you catch a glimpse of a shadowy figure disappearing behind a tent. Something about the way it moves is familiar. I think this is our assassin boy. Continue. Uh, Follow the figure. You push through the crowd, following the dark figure into a narrow gap. Cautiously, you enter the narrow space, and suddenly there is a hand at your throat. I will kill you, breathes a voice you recognize. Draw my sword or laugh with pleasure? Wow now. Are we shipping these two already? You laugh with delight. It's Flanker, the assassin whose life you spared before you reached Toripani. Greetings, you declare enthusiastically. How do you do greetings enthusiastically? It greetings is not an enthusiastic greeting. Flanker nods. He does not smile, but he seems pleased to see you. Aha, my friend and enemy. I see, like myself, you also enjoy the fun of the Festival of Thieves, and you look as hale as the moment you left me. I did once long live the king on my brother in paintball. You don't want me to shoot him in the face. He was hanging on a pipe. Oh no! Your poor brother. Your journey has been uneventful so far, I trust. And how have you fared in care? Imagine Brian Blessed saying greetings. That would be pretty enthusiastic. That is true. That is very true. Only he, with his big booming voice, would probably be able to do that. Well, so far. Indeed, so far, Flanker laughs. Quite so, as you have not had to face the portal traps. They will take your smile and move it to your throat, as we assassins say. Portal traps? Flanker laughs. Do not fear, you have not missed out. You have only survived this far because all the traps are on the other side of the river. He pauses to glance around him, as if he was waiting for something, but if so, he does not see it. I have a few minutes, he says. Tell me of your quest. How goes it? The journey is long, but I am unbowed. Let's discuss something else. The journey is long. Good, he nods. I am glad you are still no coward. To be defeated is a shame, but to be defeated by a creature without a spine is a torture. Tell me about these portal traps. It sounds like something worth knowing. The portal traps were laid by the early rulers of Ka, Flanker replies. Only the first noble has the power to position them and to disguise them, for portal traps can disguise themselves in plain sight. What kind of disguise? Anything, any material, any size, but there's one feature that cannot change. They are always the same shape. With one finger, Flanker draws a perfect circle in the air. How can I reach the north gate? Then you know about the spell lines, of course. You shake your head. Flanker laughs darkly. Then learn. The north gate is wizard locked and requires a spell of 4 lines to open it. Without the lines, you will never leave this city. Who knows the lines? The first noble knows the spell, and handed 1 line each to 4 of his nobles. But the council is in turmoil, and most of the nobles are dead, or driven mad, or hounded to their graves. Can you help me? I do not know any of the lines myself, he says sadly. He nods finally. But I must be away. Perhaps I will see you again later. I will be drinking at the Wayfarer's Rest tonight, in the docks. Join me, if you will. You nod to Flanker and return to the main throng of the fair. You have found 3 new clues. Continue. I did not say what head I was aiming at. Ah, understandable. Items. Clues. 4 nobles know the spell. 4 of the nobles of Care were each given 1 line on the spell to the north gate of Care. You will need to find these nobles if you can and learn their secrets. The first noble knows all. The north gate spell is only known in full to the first noble of the city. Okay, so that is the goal, to find these spell lines. I'm so nice to my brother. This is why I wouldn't go paintballing. I mean, not that there's a chance of me getting hurt that way, but just getting hurt in general by paintballs is not what I would want. The top of the midway. A boob shot would probably still hurt. That is very true. Yeah, actually. Probably not as much, but that would hurt. You walk to the north end of the fairground midway. The fair continues from here, and a road leads away uphill. Musicians or bare knuckle? Oh, let's do bare knuckle fighting. Hydrate. Oh, thank you, Mooney. Sorry if you heard the bottle then. It's a plastic one, so it might crinkle. Me and my brother has always been like that. My brother and my sister used to fight so much, and just I'm surprised they did not kill each other, to be honest. And I'm the youngest of the family, and I just used to sit there like, can one of you just play with me and get this over with? You cross the fairground to a wrestling ring. A ruffian inside is announcing the current challenge. People of Care, are you ready for a fight? In the white corner, we have our challenger, Anvar the Barbarian, which is one of these two. The crowd cheers and whoops. Look over Anvar. Anvar is about half as tall as you again. I don't understand that sentence. With sheets of muscle on his arms and legs, but he is probably lighter than the ogre, which will mean he has less momentum. And in the black corner, the brawling champion of Care, the one they call Skull Splitter, the ogre Kagoo of Dadulay. Bloody hell, that name. Look over Skull Splitter. The ogre looks as thick as any ogre you might meet, but he's made of solid muscle. His arms and legs look like the twisted barks of trees. Challenger, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? Oh my god, do you guys remember Gladiators? That was a great show. Challenger, are you ready? Demands the ruffian. Anvar nods and beats his chest. Oh, we could place a bet. You find a wagerman by looking for his enormous hat, to which odds and returns are pinned on bits of cloth. Feeling lucky, are you? He chuckles with evident glee. Are you not entertained? Oh, that's the movie, isn't it? That's a great movie. I haven't the one and only time I watched that was in my history class at school, and we weren't even doing Romans, so I'm not sure why we watched it. But then on another day we watched Fast and Furious, so I don't think there was any connection there whatsoever. It was just a hey, we have no lessons today. Let's watch a movie. Um, Feeling lucky, are you? He chuckles with evident glee. Yeah, yeah, that was my reaction as well. His palms are sweating, and you notice he carries flick blades inside his sleeves. Place your money on me. Uh, ask the odds. 3 to 1 on the challenger, he says. 1 to 3 on the champion. What does that mean? For every coin you bet on the barbarian, you get 3 extra back if he wins. For every 3 coins you put on the ogre, you only get 1 extra back if he wins. God, there's lots of Pokemon stuff happening. um, oh, Jacko, you have a 50% increased chance of finding a shiny Pokemon and then let spawn. Didn't know shinies were in this. That's interesting. Place bet. You take your money pouch from your pocket. Bet on the barbarian or bet on... Let's do barbarian. The ogre seems like he'd be a bit dumb for this. Maximum bet is 3 gold pieces. The bookie says. Good odds, though. Throw a Pokemon ball at cat. Ooh. Ow, that hurt. You can't catch me. I'm a wildling. I'm a free spirit. You could be my shiny Pokemon. Ah, thank you. You can throw them by typing Pokey, Snowball. Oh, okay, so you threw a snowball at Jackal. Well, a Pokey Snowball. That is very strange. Okay, bet 3 gold pieces. You hand over 3 gold pieces, and the bookkeeper makes a mark on his hat for the bet. Meanwhile, in the ring, the fight has begun. The barbarian in the white corner growls and beats his chest. The ogre raises his fist into the air and shakes them. Shout for the barbarian. You shout, finish him! To the barbarian, who bellows with anger. The ogre roars with rage and powers forward against the barbarian, landing a mighty blow. Now the ogre looks on good form, but then the barbarian comes back with an unexpected thump. Shout for the barbarian. You holler at the barbarian, but it's not clear that it does any good. Growling and muttering, the ogre thunders into the barbarian, cracking his skull. Suddenly, the creature is sure to win this. The barbarian staggers suddenly. The crowd gasps, but then he picks himself up once more. Shout for the barbarian, you yell. Don't spare the elbow to the barbarian, who roars back. The ogre's lip has split and is bleeding. The barbarian beats his chest, and then to everyone's surprise forces the ogre back with a headbutt. The crowd go quiet. The fight is in the balance once more. Shout for the barbarian. You shout at the barbarian, but the rest of the crowd is shouting too. The ogre howls with fury and pounds towards the barbarian, winding him. Once again, the creature is the stronger of the two. Shout for the barbarian. You holler, go for his eyes, to the barbarian over the roaring crowd. Finally, it is all over. With a single throw, Skull Splitter the ogre throws Anva the barbarian clear out of the ring. The crowd go wild. You catch the bookkeeper's eye in the crowd, and he shrugs, taking your betting slip from his hat, screwing it up, and throwing it away. God damn it. Don't mess with a barbarian. I thought he would win. Inside the ring, the master of the fight raises the ogre's fist in the air. Who challenges our champion? The prize is 10 gold pieces. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna beat this guy and get my money back. I challenge him, you cry. All eyes turn to look at you, the fight master beams. We have a stranger taking the challenge, he declares. Let her through. Continue. Into the ring. The crowd parts and you are helped up into the ring. Under his breath, the fight master outlines the rules. A fair fight, no magic, and pound your opponent. Pound your opponent until they can't stand. Yeah, fine, I will do it myself. Ready? He asks. Fight! In the black corner, then, the ruffian announces, is Skull Splitter. In the white corner, the ruffian turns to you and hisses, what should I call you? The Analander, the stranger, just get on with it. The stranger. The ruffian pulls a blank face. It's not very exciting, he says, but alright. It's meant to be mysterious. To the crowd, he bellows, in the white corner, today, fresh from who knows where, please welcome to the ring, the stranger herself, and then throws you a sidelong glance before he scarpers from the ring. Kick his ass. I will. The crowd begin to furiously place bets. You can hear them discussing your relative merits. She looks feeble, looks like a maniac to me. You ready your fists. Hold on, why is he allowed a hammer? That's not fair. Let's go all in, shall we? Okay. The ogre raises its fists in the air and makes a roaring noise. That brings a similar response from the crowd. The bell rings and you charge forwards, roaring and bellowing. It hits out with a lazy swing of its colossal fist. Clearly, it thinks you are no serious threat to it. It beats its huge muscled chest and roars, block. Madness can do wonderful things, just ask the Joker. That is true. You drop in a defensive crouch. Your suspicion is well founded. A moment later, the ogre charges forward with all its body weight, knocks you back a short way. Let's try a bash. Winter Nick, welcome to the stream and Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a good one. I'm doing good, thank you. And I hope you're doing good as well. Join us on our audiobook adventure. You moving swiftly, you aim for his heart. The ogre blocks your blow. Let's try a thump. You strike again. Ready in a forceful blow, you hurtle forwards. The ogre turns away, as though not seeing the blow will stop it landing. The ogre stumbles, suddenly crashing into the ropes at the side of the ring. A gasp goes up from the crowd. Let's block. You drop back defensively. The ogre pounds at you with heavy fists, but you dodge the force of the blow. The ogre is holding back. Someone in the crowd is shouting you advice. Take out his knees. Let's do a bash. Oh, 2 stamina to go. I'm doing alright, feeling a bit sick at the moment. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it's not impacted your day too much. Well, unless you're feeling sick from too much food and alcohol. Then that sounds like it's been a good day, but if it's not from that, I hope you feel better soon. And enjoy watching the stream. Don't feel like you need to come into chat. We will heal you with the power of storytelling. Let's try another bash. Oh, we took 1 stamina off. That's not too bad. You lunge forwards again. Mustering a lumberjack blow, you lunge at the ogre. The ogre drops into a defensive crouch, moving with more speed than you'd expect. The ogre howls with rage as it stumbles and hits the mat. For a moment, you even think it might stay down, but then slowly, like a crumbling cliff, it pits itself to its feet once more. Let's try a clout. Oh, that wasn't good. You try a heavy punch, but its attack is strong and devastating. You are thrown to the floor. The crowd gasps and cheers. The ogre is briefly distracted by scratching. Let's try a bash. Yeah, we got him. Moving quickly, you go a straight lunge for his eye. The ogre staggers back, gasping, its stupid eyes blinking in surprise, summoning the last ounce of strength in your arms. You raise your hands, linked in a fist,
Yay!
and bring them down. Oh, Winter Nick, thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate that. Oh no, wait, Mooney, you gifted more subs. What you doing? Winter Nick, you have a subscription. Merry Christmas. Oh, Mooney, you're too good to me. Bigger they are, harder they fall. Exactly. Exactly, Jackal. Winternick, enjoy the subscription. You now have access to the emotes. So you can also do the rave. The rave cap. Oh, pulled on my mic. Continue. You stagger from the ring, the crowd cheering for you, and collect your winnings. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Moonbear. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, Winterneck. Hope you feel better soon. The end of the fair. You push your way through the crowd, following the road uphill. The party is getting wilder, and you would do well to be away from here before things get out of hand. At the far edge of the fair, the litter has left a tide mark on the grass. There's one last small tent here, probably a ticket booth, that has simply been ignored by the crowds of care. Look back. Looking back, you see what looks like one of the tents going up in flames. It must be part of the entertainment, as no one seems too concerned.
Hydrant, you bastard! Hydrant!
Oh, thank you, Jackal. I have now hydrated. In fact, a great cheer goes up as one of the strings of flags collapses into the bonfire. Look ahead. Ahead, the road continues through empty fields and patches of rubble-strewn wasteland, but it climbs, so it must be heading for the centre of Care. Steam rises from a large building beside a fork in the road. Look at the small tent. You pause to walk around the small tent to discover it is in fact a small attraction of its own. A sign above its door reads, Cabinet of Fortune, try your luck, a prize for all. You have time to test your luck, no doubt, if you want it. Yeah, let's give it a go. Cabinet of Fortune. You go over to the tent and push back the flap. Inside, a grubby, bearded man leaps up from where he was sitting, cross-legged on the floor, and comes over to pump your hand. Pump my hand? What does that mean? Is that just a handshake? I hope it's just a handshake. He looks very strange. And what's this in here? Welcome, welcome, my friend, he exclaimed, somewhat over-enthusiastically. And let's see what prize you can win today. You must know this, there were no losers at Honest Hannah's Cabinet of Fortune. He gestures with one hand towards the large glass cabinet in the centre of the tent. Look inside the cabinet. You step forward and peer in through the glass. Inside there are piles of jewellery, books, gold and other things, as well as a small, wiry creature curled up fast asleep. What is that creature? What is that little creature, you ask? My little pet, Hannah explains. He's perfectly harmless. Well, he bites, but only when you open the cabinet to feed him. What do I do? It is a most simple game, Honest Hannah replies with glee. You give me 2 gold pieces, and then my little pet will fetch something for you. We can cast a spell. I wonder what we can cast. Let's have a look. S-U-S. Sense danger. Let's try that. You cast a spell and a deep, calm voice voice enters your mind. It tells you there is no danger here. The cabinet contains some false prizes, some true ones, but nothing that will do you harm. Hannah waits for you to finish your spell and then smiles. Will you play? You saw Cat vent. She is sus. I'm not sus. I'm fine. I'm truly honest. This guy is called Honest? Honest Hannah. He's the sus one. If you have honest in your name. Let's give it a go. You pay 2 gold pieces, and Hannah goes over the cabinet and presses a small button on the side. It seems to operate a cantilevered spike. Oh, which pokes the creature. That's not very nice. Who squeals, jumps from its perch, and begins fluttering around inside the case. What now? What now, you ask? You can try to influence its choice by shouting at it, Hannah explains. The angrier you can make it, the better the prize, usually. I'm not sure why. As if to make the point, the creature picks up a ruby ring, then smiles and drops it and flies up to the top of the tank. Shout something. Although it does not seem very fair, you determine to infuriate the creature as much as possible. Hannah. The creature in the tank flaps around with glowing eyes. What else could you try? Care? The strange mite is still flying around furiously. There must be something that will get this creature to truly see red. Freedom. The flying thing circles around in a black rage. Eventually, the creature selects something from the prize pool, which it drops into a chute at the far side of the cabinet. Take my prize. You open the flap and remove 2 goblin teeth. It will do. You nod to Hannah, then you head back out of the tent. Continue. I think goblin teeth is actually quite good of a prize. It's a magic item. Follow the road. You leave the fair behind you and climb through fields towards the outskirts of the buildings, until you reach a fork in the road. The slum districts of Lower Care are unlikely places to find nobles, but you might be able to learn their names or where they are hiding. In the elbow of the fork is a grand, well-kept building. Steam pumps from its roof. A creature emerges, looking refreshed and flushed. It is a bathhouse. Ooh, let's go in the bathhouse. You step in the cool of the bathhouse. It is a wide building of marble tiles and a sweet smell of pine and fresh wood. Gentle noises echo and murmur around the walls. A creature by the front desk greets you with a smile. Good afternoon, my lady, it purrs. The water is cool and fresh today. A swim costs 4 gold pieces. To be fair, our stamina's quite low. We could probably do with this. The hell is an elder goss? I have no idea. A bathhouse. I think it better close my eyes when you take a bath. Don't worry. Don't worry. Although I don't have any curtains to shield myself. Pay him. You hand over 4 gold pieces, and the concierge gestures you into the centre of the bathhouse, where a wide pool awaits. With trees and shrubs either side. I will be waiting outside. Continue. By the pool. Oh, we're going for a swim, so we'll be wearing stuff. From across the room, steam curls from the doorway of a glass-doored room. You strip off, maybe not, and pile your clothes and belongings in one corner of the room. Swim. You dive into the pool and swim a few enjoyable lengths. You feel better for the exercise. You feel your shoulders are knotted and your body relaxing. Just a gentleman. You are a gentleman, Jackal. Thank you. Try the steam room. You enter the steam room and take a seat on one of the benches. The temperature is almost unbearable. Steam rooms are weird. Have you ever been in one? I went in one earlier this year, and it's like, why would anyone want to get this hot for, like, relaxing? Like, I get it does a lot for your skin and all that sort of thing, but I was just sat there like, I don't like this. Also, I sat a bit too close to, like, the pit where you put the water, and there was some other people in there. I went with 2 of my friends, and there were other people in the steam room, and they poured the water and it just splashed back at me, and it hurt a lot. Did not like it. The music has stopped. Hold on, guys. Shall do Middle Earth music and ambience. Okay. Uh, there we go. Hopefully, Steam will not crash. Or Sorcery will not crash. Hello? Sorcery, no! Don't do this to me! Is it gonna be okay? Okay, hold on. I gotta restart Sorcery. Oh no, what's going on? Sorcery, Sorcery, where are you? Giving away my Steam secrets. Okay, I think we saved. That's fine. Is the music going? Or is
I
it too
can't
quiet?
believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this. Can you guys hear the music okay? Okay, you can hear the music. That's fine. It's ambient, so it might be a bit quiet at times. You enter the steam room and take your seat on one of the benches. The temperature is almost unbearable. My whole point of that, by the way, was steam rooms I don't understand. It wasn't pleasant. Through the curling smoke, you see another figure in the shadows. You are not alone. Stay quiet. You stay quiet, minding your own business. After a while, you hear a voice, murmuring, "Our last man failed. What makes you think you can succeed?" Say nothing. Music is wonderful. Yay, I'm glad. You stay quiet. A moment later, a second voice replies. That idiot tried head on. You can't kill a wizard head on. You have to go in when they're asleep. You have to have tactics. Good, the first voice in the smoke agrees, and I don't want to know what your tactics are. So long as your money's good, the second voice says. Keep listening. You stay quiet and listen. Sansa left me enough to cover all 4 jobs before he disappeared, the first speaker says. Mulus and Tita are done. The job on Shinva, wow. The speaker huffs into the smoke. How do you kill someone, but only enough to make them a ghost? That was a tough one. This one should be the easiest, the second speaker agrees. I'm glad to hear it, but don't forget, the last man who tried, he's a sideshow attraction now, I hear. Keep listening. I won't, the second voice replies. So where's this noble's house? Red Quarter, round the back of Fireview. You can't miss it. It's the biggest place in the neighbourhood. He tells them all he's a scholar, but don't be fooled. The second voice grunts an assent, then a figure stands and leaves the room. You heard enough, and the heat is getting to be too much. You get to your feet noisily enough to make your presence clear and leave the room. You head back out of the steam room. Leave. Feeling much better, you turn and collect your belongings. Check them over. Not trusting the city to pass up the chance to rob you, you check through your belongings. But everything seems to still be in place. Pleased, you head for the exit. Creature at the front desk beams cheerfully at you. You step outside onto the street. Continue. I'm just going to take 2 minutes, guys, to have a bathroom break, and then I will be back. I will pause the ambient music so we don't miss anything. Right, be back in a moment. I suggest you all go get drinks and stuff as well. So I come back to the stream, and what has Mooney done? He has rickrolled me. God damn you, Mooney. Ay, ay, ay. He played some great music. I wanted Christmas Bell. He timed that really well. I went to go get some water. I did wonder why there were so many rave emotes in the chat. Oh dear. Okay, can you guys hear the ambient music again? Okay, good. This is more. Oh, a little bit too loud. Okay, there we go. Right. Make sure I'm all hydrated. Oh, guys, do you want to hear a Christmas cracker joke? It's not very good. I warn you. It's not good at all. I mean, Christmas cracker jokes are not good anyway, but this is just awful. What animals need oiling? Mice, because they squeak. Badum. There you go. Okay. It's like a dad joke. It is like a dad joke. Right. Shall we head uphill or do the cliff road? Let's do the cliff road. You head along the cliff-top road into an area of larger, more impressive buildings. The road passes through the ruin of a grand building, in what must have once been a glorious morning room. An ornamental pond is all that remains. Moss grows from the cracks in its tiled sides. Go over and look. You walk over to the pond. Despite its great age, it seems well tended, and the water is surprisingly clear. A small scarlet fish darts out from behind a stone as you watch. Bubbles rise from its mouth, and as they break, you hear the breath of words. Something else glints from the bottom of the pool. Look deeper into the pond. Lean closer to hear the words. Move on, taste the water, or cast a spell. Let's cast a spell. Let's see if we can talk to the fish. Law? Was that it? No, that's control. Y A P. Talk with animals. Requires a green-haired wig. So it's a good job we stole that wig. You pull the wig onto your head and incant your spell. Then put your ear close to the water. The fish rises to the surface and the next bubbles it emerges. Try that again. The next bubbles it emerges are understandable as clear words. The fish says, "Cold in here, cold, cold in here." Ask the fish which way I should go. "Please, fish," you say, "tell me which way I should go next." "Some go left," the fish replies, "they don't come back. Some go right, they come back." This could be useful advice, but unfortunately, it's not at all clear which way the fish is facing. Ask the fish about the north gate. "Fish," you ask, "I need to get through the north gate. Can you help me?" The fish swims around in circles. No amount of magic is going to make a fish understand what the north gate is. The spell fades. You take the wig off your head, and the words become mere broken bubbles once again. Taste the water. You scoop up a handful of the water and taste it. It is brackish and foul, and you spit it out immediately. Move on. The road slopes downhill towards a large domed building. To the right, a narrow road A narrow road winds uphill. There we go. Let's go uphill. It said some go left, they don't come back, some go. Let's go this way. I know we're following the advice of a fish, but I'm willing to take that chance. You follow the narrower road which skirts the edge of central care. The homes and buildings either side are now more densely packed together. You're nearing a more busy, bustling area of care. Move cautiously. You begin to move more cautiously, keeping your back to the buildings, but you must have missed something, because suddenly a hand appears on your shoulder and you are pulled backwards into a building. Continue. A nearby building. Don't be afraid, murmurs a voice. Turn to see who it is. You turn to see who it is, a dark-skinned man with a beard of short stubble. As you look at him, he releases you, holding up his hands to show he means you no harm. Apologies to give you a fright, he says. I am a lonely man in this evil city. Well, don't just grab women off the street then. Christ. You are a human, and that's a refreshing sight. Please, sit with me and talk for a while. I can't stop. I can't stop. I can't stop, you reply. I have a long way to travel. Of course you do, he replies with a grin. Perhaps I can help you find your way. This city is like a maze, he grins, filled with rats. You look around the building and realise you are in his home. It is well furnished with rich woven tapestries on the walls. Look him over, ask him about care, let's look him over. You look the man over. He is a noble looking sort and wears fine furs and a cloak. He seems friendly enough. I mean, I think he's sus, but let's see what he has to say. Ask him about himself. You seem a wealthy man, you remark, looking around at the room. Me? The man smiles. No, nothing like that. I used to be a hero, travelling with Glandrugger the Heroic, if you've heard of him. The man goes over to a counter and takes down 2 mugs and a tankard of ale. I'd like to ask you about your business, he says.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Would you like some ale? We do have happy accidents. Good old Bob Ross. I've met him, you answer. The man goes quiet. Is that so? He didn't mention me, did he? No, he probably didn't. The man goes over to a counter and takes down 2 mugs and a tankard of ale. It's just repeating the same. I'd like to ask you about your business, he says. But before I go into all that, would you like some ale? I drink with you. I'll drink with you. The man returns with 2 mugs of ale and he places one deliberately in front of you. So let me tell you about my city, he begins conversationally. The centre of care is built around the port, and it can be a dangerous place at night. Eleanor was throwing a hairball on my sink. Oh, that is not pleasant. Oh dear. I mean, good girl. Oh no. Why is that? Well, they say that those wandering the streets get waylaid and captured onto slaving ships. So be sure to be settled down in an inn before sundown. He lifts his mug. Your health. At least it's easy to clean up. Tell me more, you say, stalling for time. Sure. He takes a long sip from his mug. The other thing to know about Care is that there are thieves and murderers everywhere. This place is like one big prison. You have to be careful everywhere you go. Say, aren't you thirsty? I don't trust this guy, but I feel like if I don't drink, it's gonna go bad for me, so let's try. Drink up. You knock back the drink and lick the froth from your lips. So, as I was saying, the man continues, another thing to watch out for is the portal traps on the far side of the Jabby G. Hiccup. The nobles who live there protect themselves with them. If you fall into one, well, you've no idea where you'll end up. Thank you, you reply, nodding your head. Well, that's no trouble, seeing as how you'll never get to the north side, my friend. What do you mean? I mean, Vangorn the murderer has claimed another victim. He laughs loudly. You feel a stabbing pain deep within your stomach. If you have been poisoned, you may be only moments away from death. Cast a spell. Let's see what spells we got before we die. D O OK. Heal disease. You cast a spell on the potion and drink it quickly. Quickly, you begin to feel better. The man watches in growing rage and anger. Then, before you know what is happening, he has grabbed a longbow from the wall, notched an arrow, and is aiming straight at your heart. No one escapes from Vangorn the murderer, he gloats, pulling back the string. Draw my sword. You draw your sword, you have no choice but to fight, but before you can reach him, his fingers release the arrow. Oh, God. Okay, this might be our end. You know what, we've never done a pray for aid. Let's see if it helps. You mouth a fast prayer to the ape, who is presumably paying close attention, because the arrow shoots past your ear and buries itself in the far wall. Vangorn growls and readies his sword. You charge forward. God damn you. Charge. Vangorn raises his sword and stares at you along the length of the blade. You grip your sword firmly, then bring it up fast to deliver a heavy blow. Vangorn covers himself. He is left breathless but otherwise unharmed. Grimacing, he murmurs a quick curse as he sets his stance. Defend! You pace back across the cluttered room, dropping into a crouch as he dances forward, crying out with glee. The attack only tires him out and you are mostly unharmed, and Vangorn laughs appreciatively. So you fancy yourself a swords mistress, do you? Vangorn asks, stepping back and panting for breath. Let's do a cut. I thought he might defend. You sense an opening and determined to take advantage of it, you swing your sword in towards his chest, aiming to knock the wind from his lungs, but the impact clangs against his turned sword. He grins. He's bruised, but not seriously hurt. Let me make it easy for you, the murderer suggests. I'll stand still so you can hit me. He got me. In the next moment he is on you, fast and skillful. Your own stroke is overpowered. His own blow is of medium force, enough to knock you reeling. The impact of his blow is deep and knocks you staggering across the room. He wipes his blade against his boot. You could do better than that, Vangorn goads you. Try a side swipe. Time to attack. You sting with your blade, low and fast, saving your energy, but the blow jumps back off the hilt of his blade. He grimaces with effort. He is battered, but ready to come back stronger. With my next stroke, he informs you coldly, I will take your head in return for that. Defend. You sense an attack coming from the sneer at the corners of his mouth, and quickly ready your defences. He smiles as he steps back himself. Taking a break, are we? Should I offer you more ale? Wiping his eyes, Vangorn whispers a foul stream of swear words as he readies his blade. He looks like a retarded Elvis Presley brother. You can't say that. Defend. Hold firm in. You keep your sword high as he attempts a strong stroke. I just did. Wow. Okay. Hold firm and you keep your sword high as he attempts a strong stroke. You parry efficiently. He nods to you wisely. A good fighter, but overall you waste more energy than you should, Vangorn remarks. Whoever trained you would be most displeased. Don't you comment on my master. Thrust. How about that? Eh? Acting quickly, your swing is deep, outclassing his own sword swing. Blood drips from the murderer's chest. He curses you. We do a cut. Vangon roars with anger, sweeping clutter off a tabletop as he swings his sword. Relentlessly, you cut and thrust, keeping him pinned. You slash violently across his chest, but the impact clangs against his weapon. He smiles. Vangon's breath is coming in gasps. He is too old for this fight. Vangon shifts his sword about so the blade lies across his body. Sabine's gonna defend. I'll do a side swipe. Oh, you beat me by like 0.1. Vangon laughs, but with your blade closed you're ready to parry as he catches you with a passing slice across your cheek. Breathing deeply, he mouths a quick curse. Defend. You ready yourself to block as he powers forward. The strike only exhausts him, and you are largely unhurt. He raises one hand to draw a finger in a line across his throat. Vangon swivels his grip. The weapon flashes as it moves. Cut. This is the end of you. Oh, thank you, Jackal, for the posture check and the stretch. Okay. Leaping into action, you twist and lower your sword fast. He is off balance and moving slowly, and the blade goes deep. He stumbles forward, eyes opening wide with surprise. You have finished me, he declares, after so long undefeated. Continue. With Vangon dead, you are free to search his small house. Look in the cupboards. You open the cupboards. In one, you find a jar marked poison, and in another, a jar labelled essence of bark. Take both. Examine the hangings. The hangings look like rich treasures from a much grander household. Made of thick cloth, they are exquisitely decorated with images of orcs and trolls, being hacked to pieces by a hero with 2 blades and a silver crown. One of the hangings has a suspiciously large bulge underneath it, and as you watch, the bulge moves. Look behind the hangings. You lift one of the hangings, uncovering a gigantic spider. The arachnid jumps out at you, baring its fangs and landing on your chest. Cast a spell. Let's get the spider off us. J I G. Calls lively dancing. You cast your spell and cautiously draw the pipe out of your pack and begin to play. At first, the spider seems unaffected. Then its legs begin to twitch, one after the other. A moment later, it is performing a horrific jumping dance across your chest and arms and racing up and down your legs in excitement. Finally, it darts to the top of your head and attempts a backflip, falls off and lands on the floor. You stop playing and it hurries away into a crack in the floor. You let out an enormous sigh of relief. Search Vangon's body. Searching Vangon's pockets, you find 8 gold pieces, which you take. Thank you. Leave. You have found all you will find here. Time to be moving on. Follow the road. You continue along the street, which grows narrower and more winding. On either side, slum dwellings rise high. Faces appear and disappear behind drapes. Someone throws out a bucket of slop, narrowly missing you. Furry, chained-up animals screech from balconies. The sun disappears from view. Keep going. You push forwards, climbing a gentle slope. Continue. Further on. The lane gets narrower. Muck and foul water runs downhill, forming a sheen over the flagstones. The walls either side are now so close together that someone on the top floor has laid planks across the alley to steal from the house opposite, or perhaps to steal their own things back. It is hard to be sure. Keep going. The road narrows further until your elbows are brushing the door frames on either side. Then quite suddenly you reach a small plaza. Continue. By a well. There is a small open square with a dried up well at its centre. This is a crossroads, and side roads lead off to the left and the right. Look at the alleys. You pause to look around the edge of the square. There's nothing to distinguish one alleyway from the other, although you do see a line of what look like blood drops heading right. Look at the well. The only thing the alleys have in common is that they converge here. Once, presumably, this well served all the people in the district, but perhaps there were too many people, because now the well seems dusty and dry. Look down the well. Leaning over the edge, you peer down into the depths of the well. Strange, this well seems to have handholds cut into its stones. They appear good enough to climb down. Choose a road. I don't trust climbing down into a well. There might be handholds down the well, but that doesn't mean your path lies that way. Continue. What's that say? Take the right road, go straight on, take the left road. Let's do... let's go straight on. The street is a little wider and more well paved than some of the others. You can see tracks where carts have come this way. You hear the sound of voices around a corner. Walk on. You walk around the corner, intrigued by the sound. There is a small crowd of people, talking and singing inside a low stone shrine. Beyond, you can see the sparkle of the river and the smell of rotten fish. You are nearly at the docks. Continue. The shrine. You step into the doorway of the shrine at the same time as a woman and her child are leaving. He really is a holy man, mother, the little one is saying. Lason's lame brother answered his question and he ran off the stage. The mother nods and the pair leave. Interesting. Let's step inside. The shrine is an old stone building, garishly decorated with hanging cloths and thick candles that fill the air with the smell of grease and tar. Not very good candles then if it smells like grease and tar. At the far end on a low platform stands a hooded figure in a white robe, who is talking to the assembled crowd. Does anyone else wish to take the test of Slang, the god of malice? Calls the priest up. A murmur goes around the crowd. People are nervous, but excited. Ask someone about the challenge. You nudge someone next to you. What is this challenge, you ask? It is the test of Slang, the woman replies in a whisper. He grants you a wish if you answer him correctly. But you have to worship him, or else the question he asks is impossible. She shudders and grins. They don't call him the god of malice for nothing. Are your hearts so cold? Taunts the priest. Does no one here want anything? Is no one in dire or deadly need of a god's aid? Take the challenge. You raise your hand and step forward. I will take your challenge. A stranger, calls the priest with glee. Welcome her, please. Continue. The platform. The crowd whisper and murmur as you make your way to the platform. Have I ever told you I really like your storytelling? Oh, thank you. I really like the idea of reading stories as like audiobooks. Funnily enough, I used to do it as a kid. Like, we had one of those old style microphones and I would just read my books into it and record myself on cassette. As lame as that is, but yeah, I like telling stories. I just need to make sure I stay hydrated. It's probably the most I've taught in forever. Welcome, stranger, the priest declares, helping you up. Are you ready to take the challenge, knowing full well that very few succeed? I will try. The crowd cheer your response. Then know this. Slang is not a punishing god, but he is malicious. He does not wish for you to fail. But should you fail, he wishes you to know that it was all your own fault. Let him continue. The priest continues. Our practice is that you may choose which question to answer. But know this, one is impossible and the other is easy, and to answer the easy question, you must give up something you hold most dear. The crowd are watching in expectant silence. It's time for you to choose. I choose the impossible question. The crowd wait expectantly. I've been looking forward to this all day today. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you're having a good time. What is the answer to the question that has never been asked? Your heart sinks. The question doesn't make any sense. Malice, silence, infinity, I don't know. Malice? A roar goes up from the crowd. They can see from the priest's glee that that was not the right answer. You have failed in the test of slang. God damn it. Leave. You walk away into the street, the crowd laughing at you as you go. Continue. Continue to the docks. You emerge from a narrow, winding alley into an open space. On the far side, the Jabiji River slides past, its surface strewn with flotsam and jetsam, dredged up from fallen parts of the city. The sails of the boats at anchor billow and snap in the breeze. You have reached the docks, the beating heart of Care. Look around. There are 2 or 3 ships moored for the night, and the space between them and the road is filled with a huge number of stalls and little shops, selling everything from fishing tackle to sailing blocks to barrels of woodlouse rum. This must be a thriving marketplace during the day. With night approaching, it is a maze of booths and cloth. A single bridge crosses the river here, operated with ropes, to let the tall ships through. Right now, the bridge is up to allow ships to sail through undisturbed. Find somewhere to sleep. There are 2 inns visible from here, the Wayfarer's Rest and the Meat and Cleaver. There is nothing obviously different about either of them. Continue. I think Flanker said he was going to Wayfarer's Rest, so let's try that one. You make your way inside the Wayfarer's Rest. It's a lively and bustling place. Look at these little guys dancing down here. My mum did throw out my old hoodie. It was full of holes, so I need a new one. Oh no! It's always sad when you gotta throw out clothes you like. Especially hoodies, like, they're so comfy. The innkeeper behind the bar is trying to serve numerous creatures all demanding ale at the same time, while around the tables, salty types and buxom wenches this is a buxom wench are laughing together and singing shanties. Continue. A table or the bar. Let's go to the bar. So I'm thinking of buying a Pet the Cat hoodie. Really? Oh, that would be amazing if you do. Don't feel like you have to, but if you do, oh, that would be so good. Thank you, thank you. I need to buy one for myself, actually. I wanna get. You'll be the first if you buy one. The first ever person to buy one, even before me. Shut up and take my money. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I also need to get one for myself. You have a choice of Pet the Cat or finger guns. So yeah. Hopefully, I have. Well, not me because I don't organise it, but hopefully there's sizes for you. Oh, that's amazing! Thank you. It's a Christmas miracle. You fight your way through the creatures to the bar. With a thump on the bar top, you catch the innkeeper's attention. Greetings. Greetings, you say. Nice place you have here. The innkeeper nods at you. He's clearly impressed by your dress and well-educated tone. And what be your God, why did I go into an accent for that? What be your purpose in these here parts? He asks. Ask the price of a room. How much is a room, you ask? The innkeeper holds up 4 fingers rather than shouting across the bar. The other creatures at the bar jostle and push each other for space. Tell me buy food. We could do with some food. Can you feed me in this hellhole, you ask? It's not very nice to say to the innkeep. The innkeeper nods. Aye, to the gills for 6 gold pieces, hearty as you like. Oh, 6 gold pieces is a lot. Tell me the price of your ale. The innkeeper holds up 1 finger, A ruffian knocks over a dwarf's mug of ale. The fight that breaks out is short, sharp, and ends with the heel of an axe breaking the ruffian's nose. A great cheer goes up, and the innkeeper replaces the ale free of charge. Buy some ale. I'll have a mug then, you declare. You lay down a coin, and the innkeeper passes you a flagon. Drink my ale. You knock tankards with the creatures on either side of you, then drain the beer in one swoop. It is nutty and pleasant, and fills your stomach with a pleasing warm glow. Finest in care, the innkeeper remarks, seeing your satisfied smile. Ain't nothing that beats a good glass of Wayfarer's Ripe. You should have another too. The second's always better. No, head away from the bar. You push your way back out of the crowd at the bar. Your eyes roam around the busy room and light on a shadowy figure in one corner. Flanker! Yeah, flanker! Flanker's table. You go over and sit by the assassin. There you are again, he declares with pleasure. Oh, he fancies us, guys. He wants us. I know he wants to kill us, but he's torn, I'm telling you. He seems more relaxed than earlier. Perhaps he has completed whatever mission he was here to perform. But tell me, friend, he murmurs, do you play dice? Swindle stones? Flanker's smile broadens. I see you know it. From a hidden pouch in his tunic, he pulls a set of dice and pushes half of them across the table to you. Take them. You take the dice. What's the stake? Let me propose a modest wager, he replies. If you win, I will help you with your quest. But if I win, my obligation to you is at an end, and should we meet again, I will have the freedom to cleave your neck from your shoulders. Do you agree? Very well. Seems fine to me. Ah, this is what he looks like. Flanker counts out 5 dice each and takes first bid. Okay. Let's do this. Oh my god. Oh, okay, so we've got 3 ones. Let's go straight for that. 3 ones. So what are you doing in care, my friend? I will not allow your inane words to turn me from my game, so do not attempt such a strategy. I don't believe you have 5 twos, so I'm gonna call. Too late, I think. Only 4 twos. The round is yours. Oh god. That was a close one. I really need to pee, but I don't want to miss out on anything. The story is so good. Oh, I'm sorry. You're not gonna miss too much in the games. I'll have a quick hydration break. If you want to quickly rush off. I have notifications on my phone, so let me just get rid of these as well. Then I better go. Okay, that's all sorted. Sure is a shirt. I'm sorry, what? Unwelcome, Muncher. Hope you're having a good Christmas. Merry Christmas, all. Thank you for joining me today. I've got my Christmas pajamas on, which it's very suspect Christmas puddings. Hope you're all having a good day, or you had a good day, good evening, and you had fun, and it wasn't too tiresome, because Christmas can be tiring, especially when you gotta deal with family. So I hope you're all having a nice chill evening watching me stream. Only 4 twos, the round is yours. Roll dice again. I see. Here. 2 freeze. So you're serious about not talking? What do we have? We have 2 1s, 2 2s. He's kind of scuppered us though. Let's go 3 1s, because maybe here have 1. Bid 3 1s. A reputation once injured cannot be salved. Every humiliation is a scar one carries to the grave. Stop being an edgelord! I beat you fair and square. It sounds serious. How many 1s do I have? 2 1s. I'm gonna call. Very well, you will be scarred tonight, I fear. Oh no, there are 4 1s. Flanker wins the round. God damn it. Two 1s? I'd rather not sit in silence as we play. Indeed. When chatter is your only hope of victory, I am not surprised. What did he say? 2 2s. Let's do 3 2s. I am pleased to see you. I would like to talk. Aha! There is a time for talk, and there is a time for carefully calculated victory. 4 2s. What do we think? I don't think we have 4 2s. You're not going about it the right way then. Cool. Only 3 2s. The round is yours. Yay! Roll dice again. I see. I'll start with 1 1. I will do 2 2s then. I'll raise that. 3 freeze. Now I don't have any freeze. And I think he has a 1. So I'm gonna call. You bastard. He completely got me. There are 3 freeze. Flanker wins the round. Let's do 1 4. Seems to me that the city is not suiting you. It is true, I am much happier out in the hills. 2 1s? 3 1s? Too many people? Everything about this place is fetid. Cool. Only 3 1s, the round is yours. I choose 1 2. Let's do 1 4. I will bid 2 2s. Oh god. Well, I have a 2. He probably has a 2. So I'm gonna go with 3 2s to see if I can bluff him. Here's a bit. Ah, you silly man. You've gone too high. Yay! Only 3 2s. The round is yours. Roll dice again. 2 2s. 2 2. So why are you here? Bid 2 2s. Are you asking me who I have been assigned to kill? It would be against the code for me to divulge such a thing. 3 2s. 4 2s? Can I trick him? No. Reveal my dice. Only 3 2s. Flanker wins the round. Roll dice again. Welcome back, Jackal. You haven't missed much, don't you worry. Apart from when we've nearly beaten Flanker in the game of Swindlestones. He has bid 1 2. I will bid 2 2s. Well then, 3 2s. You silly man. I think you're wrong. Yeah, the game is yours. Continue. I win, don't I? It's our mate. It is our mate, who I think secretly has a crush on us. Flanker nods deeply. Sinler preserve me, I have lost to you again. Come with me, I will take you to the council. The council? The leaders of Care are madmen and pirates, but not fools. They might be persuaded to see the sense of your mission, he replies, especially if you have the gold to cover their pockets. Shall we go? Let's go. Excellent, Flanker beams, finishes his beer, then gestures to the door. Follow me. How lovely. Follow Flanker. You follow Flanker across the top of the dock. He moves fast, like a fleeting shadow, but somehow contrives to never disappear from your sight. He does not speak, and your attempts at conversation are met with immediate silence. He's such an edgelord, Flanker is. Continue. At the council. Finally, you arrive outside an ordinary-looking building. This is it, he declares. Wait here, and I will go inside. Well, he's an assassin. That is true. Like most assassins are edgelords, aren't they? He disappears through the door. Look over the house. The house into which Flanker has gone in is just that, surely. The windows are thick bottle glass, and the door is tarred wood, studded with rivets and painted black. The roof, only a single story up, is overgrown with weeds. Other identical dwellings stand either side. Still nothing. The building in front of you does not seem like any council chamber. Perhaps this is a trap? Look through the windows. You peer in through one of the windows, but the glass is so thick and heavily streaked on the inside with candle grease that you cannot make out anything. Knock on the door? You knock on the door. There is no answer from inside. Try the door. Ignoring Flanker's instructions, you try the door. It is unlocked. Let's go. You're in a wide room. Chairs line the walls, but there is no other furniture. If this is someone's house, then it has been meticulously robbed. But if not, you cannot see what function it does serve. But it cannot be abandoned. A fire in the hearth blazes out heat. There's no sign of Flanker anywhere, but there are also no other doors. I nearly said no other deers. Maybe I'm portraying some sort of Freudian slip towards Flanker. Look at the fire. You go over to the fire to warm your hands. It seems normal enough and is hot enough to roast a pig. A voice booms out from nowhere. Please, it says, be seated. Sit down. You choose a seat close to the fire and sit down. Something strange happens the moment you take your weight off your feet. It is as though the fire wall no longer exists. In its place is a long hallway lined with cloth banners and torches on brass poles. 2 guards stand halfway down the hallway, and between them you see Flanker deep in conversation. Or not Hitman 47. Approach. You stand to approach. The wall remains invisible. It seems you're at the front of the queue to approach the council. You make your way into the inner hall. Continue. The council hall. Flanker seems to be conferring with both the guards, but they are not moving aside and continue to block his way along the corridor. Clearly he is hoping to gain you an audience with the nobles, but he is not managing to succeed. I'm sorry, the first guard is saying. The council is in session and cannot be disturbed. He's more professional than edgelord. That is true, yeah. Although, in Absolution, that was a bit of a strange time for Agent 47, wasn't it? I only played a little bit of that one, and I couldn't get into it. But in my opinion, Blood Money was one of the best ones. I might do that as a stream one day. That'd be quite cool. I'm sorry, the first guard is saying. The council is in session and cannot be disturbed. Flanker is shaking his head. That is incorrect, as you well know. He had emotions. I'm afraid the council is in session, the guard repeats, louder now. Wait and watch, then I need to see them. Then I need to see them, you declare firmly. No one sees the council when they are in session, the guard replies primly. Cast a spell? K, K, oh, K, I, D. Oh no, I don't have a bracelet bone. T, E, L. Read minds. You cast a spell, slipping on the cloth skull cap and directing your inner ear towards the first guard. He seems to be quite tired and sick of guarding the council door. It seems they have been standing watch over it for the last 2 months, but since the first noble is still inside, they cannot leave. Listen to the second guard. You turn your attention to the second guard. He seems to be more concerned about how to spend the money he stole while doing his rounds today. Accuse the second guard of thievery. You're a thief, you tell the second guard boldly. The guard frowns at you, perhaps about ready to wring your neck. Wait a moment, the other guard asks. What do you mean he's a thief? He stole money from me earlier today. You reply. The second guard turns to the first, who's clearly his superior. Oh, yeah, Mooney saying evening, Grub Muncher. I told you before, the first guard says coldly. When you steal from civilians, I get a cut. A moment later, the two are at blows. Flanker laughs and then moves for the door. It opens and he goes inside, beckoning you to follow. Well, that was easy. We turned them against each other. Follow him. Is it me, or have your ears got a bit bigger? I don't think they have. I haven't done anything to them. They're just the long boys today. It might be because I've adjusted the model a little bit so they don't cut off if I go too high up or too low. They just look bigger. I'm having a growth spurt in my ears. This is the main council chamber. Oh, head pat. Oh, I'm a little bit too tall for it. Pat the face. Yeah, it's more of a patting of face than it was a head pat. This is the main council chamber of care, a wide room with a domed roof supported by tall pillars, ornately carved with monsters, serpents, and instruments of torture. In the centre, 12 throne-like seats are arranged in a circle, with one on a raised dais. Whatever that word is. Presumably, the seat of the first noble. All are empty. A chalk circle has been drawn just inside the ring of thrones. Flanker frowns. This is not right, he muses. Walk around the chairs. You make a slow circle of the chairs, Flanker doing likewise in the other direction. No one here, he remarks. No secret doors, no hidden passages. You notice the chairs all have names on their backs. Look at the names. The throne of the first noble has the name Sansus embossed in gold leaf on its back. The names on the others are smaller and fashioned from plain iron. Oh dear me, I'm getting sleepy. Oh no, I know. Hold on. Let's wake everyone up. Hold on.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
There you go. That's awoken everyone. Oh god, I need to go back and Streamlabs. The names on the names on the others are smaller and fashioned from plain iron. Mulas, Tiffin, Lorag, Shinva, Etzrin, and Tita. It would seem that none of the chairs have been sat in for a very long time. Sit in the throne. You walk back to the first noble's chair and lower yourself down, crossing your legs and surveying the room. Flanker looks up from his forensic investigations of the short circle with amusement. He wants us, guys, he wants us. Examine the circle. From your seat, you observe the chalk circle. It appears to be just what it seems, a circle, inscribed on the stone floor of the room. The only remarkable thing about it is how perfect it is. It is a flawless curve, rather too well drawn, Flanker says, echoing your thoughts. That makes me suspicious. Walk into the circle. You step towards the chalk circle. At the last moment, Flanker rushes forward and catches your arm. No, he exclaims. He holds you back, just at the edge. Once, he breathes. You saved my life, now I save yours, and clear my debt to you. That is no circle, that is a portal trap. You mentioned portal traps before. Good, Flanker replies. You will need to know about them if you are to journey through North Care. What does a trap look like? Exactly the point, my friend. That is why the traps are so powerful. They are quite invisible. They can appear as anything, but should you stand in one, you will be transported. But where are the nobles? You ask, looking around the empty room. Flanker looks as puzzled as you. I cannot believe they fell for their own trap, he says. They are fools, but not such fools as that. But here is a portal, and they say Sanders entered, yet never left. He looks deeply concerned. Transported where? You ask, looking at the chalk circle with curiosity. Wherever the setter chooses. Inside solid rock, high in mid-air, the tradition in Care has been to dump unfortunates into the sewers. Most do not come back. Flanker moves suddenly towards the door, then turns to you. But the important thing about the traps, he says almost angrily, is that they are no longer under the control of the people of Care. Who controls them now? You ask. Your naivety is most pleasing, he answers. Whom do you think? When a people is given something of power, who takes that thing away? The nobles, of course. For many years now, every trap in Care has been moved and placed by Sanders himself. And where is Sanders? You ask. He is not here. Indeed not. Flanker turns about once more. I have seen enough. I must think on what we have seen. He sweeps towards the door. You have found one new clue, and other clues have been updated. The nobles are in my oven. That's not good. That's not good. That's not where you want to be. Leave with Flanker. Together you head out of the chamber. The guards are still fighting. The wall seals up behind you. Walk away. The road climbs further, looping back on itself as it climbs. Several little alleys disappear off between homes and buildings on either side. This area of town is a spider's web that would be easy to lose oneself in. You pass a shop with a brass sign above its door. Metalworkers Guild. However, it seems to be closed for the night. Continue. The docks. Off with their hands. This is not French. You return to the docks. You still need to find somewhere to stay the night. Continue. Meat and cleaver or sleep in the market? Can't type today. Don't worry. Let's try the meat and cleaver. The Meat and Cleaver is a small, grimy place that looks like it's been converted from a wood store. Rats run across the floor, and the customers at the tables look haggard and tired, as if just smelling the air is draining them. By the bar, a stooped and hunched innkeeper wipes his beer mugs with a filthy handkerchief. Continue. Go over to the bar. You march over to the bar. The innkeeper stands up as straight as he can to greet you. Greet the innkeeper. Greetings, my good man. The innkeeper nods to you. Welcome to the Meat and Cleaver, he says. What can I get for you? Ask about food. How much is food? He shakes his head. We're out of food, I'm afraid. He points to a group in one corner. Those lot ate everything. Musicians, he says. They're always hungry, but good for drinking. ask about rooms. Do you have rooms? The innkeeper nods and smiles a wide, almost wicked smile. We do. Best in care, if I say so myself. People who stay here never stay anywhere as good again. 4 gold pieces. Buy a room. You hand over 4 gold pieces, and the innkeeper nods to a staircase in the corner of the room. It's up there, he says. Go up whenever you like. Walk away from the bar. You head back from the bar to the middle of the room. Let's go to bed. Go upstairs. You go up the stairs to take the room above the inn. Room above inn. The room is dark, and you have been given no candle, so you grope around for the bed and sit down. It is a pleasure to take the weight off your tired feet. Your belly growls with hunger. Oh no, we need to eat something. Sleep. Your eyes fall closed within moments, and you are soon fast asleep. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee. Can we share a bed with our mate? I think he's gone. I think he wandered off and didn't tell us. I don't think he's with us anymore. I mean, I would expect him to pay half if we were both still together at the moment. The aching in your empty belly gnaws at you with glee. You have the strangest dream that you've been captured by a torturer with a sadistic imagination, who's plotting all sorts of horrific fates for you. You wake up with a fright and a cold sweat. Look around. It is just about sunrise, and the early morning light coming through the window lights up your room and gleams off the blade suspended just above your neck. A guillotine! The guillotine is razor sharp, that much is clear. It is suspended on a complex system of pulleys and ropes, with the end of the rope attached around your left wrist. Oh no, that's not good. From one corner of the room comes a loud, weird laugh. It is the innkeeper, squatting and watching. I need meat for my stew, he crows. Untie me now, Brahim plead. Untie me now. Well, I could do that, he says, but you see, the rope around your wrist there, that's holding the system in place. So if I untie it, or if you raise your wrist yourself, the blade will either fall or it will raise up. He gets to his feet. I tell you what, I'll let you take your time. With that, he leaves the room, closing the door behind him. Pray for aid. You close your eyes and raise a prayer to the ape. You feel a great peace descend over you. Your arm moves of its own accord, and when you open your eyes, you find the blade has lifted up. You are saved. You breathe a sigh of relief. Now to free yourself. Loosen your wrist straps. Using your free left hand, you loosen the straps around your right wrist, but you cannot free them completely. But at least you can now move your right wrist as high as your neck. Loosen your leg straps. You've loosened your right wrist, but it isn't free, so you're still unable to reach the leg straps. Lower the blade. You move the strap around your right wrist up to your neck, and lower the blade carefully, using its edge to cut through the leather. Then you lift the blade once more. Both your arms are now free. Loosen your leg straps. With your arms free, you sit up and quickly unstrap your legs. Then you are on your feet. Continue. Right, where's this innkeeper? Then you hurry downstairs. The innkeeper gasps in alarm at your appearance and cowers behind the bar. Continue. Grab him. Get him! You go around the bar and grab him boldly. He is light enough to throw over your shoulder. He squeals and kicks with fear. It wasn't me, he shouts. It was the other six of me that did it. Continue. Tie him to the bed. Yeah, revenge! Laughing cruelly, you carry him up to the room and strap him down to the bed. You take a moment to rewire the string around the pulleys. The horrified innkeeper twists and turns his head to try and follow the thread, but cannot get a good view from where he lies. Offer advice. Even I don't know if you should pull or release, you tell him. I think you should release. Good luck. Then you walk out the door, leaving the man to face his own trap. Jacko redeemed and asked me anything. What is your favourite dish, ever food you can eat for a whole week? Eat for a whole week? I am a huge fan of pizza, like huge. If I could eat that and not die, I would probably eat that all the time. But that's a bit boring. So, my dad makes a really amazing spaghetti bolognese. Um, uh, when I want to have like proper mince. Mooney makes a very good vegetarian spaghetti bolognese, so it would be a combination of a meaty spaghetti bolognese and a vegetarian spaghetti bolognese. And garlic bread. Gotta have the garlic bread. That is what I would eat for a whole week, uh, mixing between the two. Or pizza. Just pizza all week. I hope that answered your question. And I hope you like the answer. Thank you for the Ask Me Anything. Leave the inn. It did, and it sounds delicious. Yay! The inn door slammed shut behind you, and the sun comes out overhead. So did we actually get any sleep? Was concerning if we didn't. Outside. As the sun breaks over the rooftops of Lower Care, the city looks clean and bright, like a stone polished to a shine by a fast-flowing river. The effect lasts for a beautiful moment, and then the people of Care begin to stir, opening their windows to throw out their slop, shouting and cursing at each other as they do so. I'm so glad we don't have to do that as humans anymore, of just chuck a bucket of stuff out the windows anymore. Continue. Head for the bridge. You're still doing that. Oh, okay. Well, never coming to your house then. The market traders begin to set up their stalls, fighting and threatening each other to get to the spots closest to the ships. A few sly types, probably pickpockets, begin to prowl the shadows between the stands. There's still areas of Lower Care you have not explored, but you cannot afford to waste more time in these slums. If the nobles are to be found, they will be on the other side of the river, and if they are not to be found, you must reach the gate and try to find another way through. Let's buy some breakfast. You wander the stalls looking for something to eat and find a stand selling bomber bread. Why does that sound so delicious? For 2 gold pieces. The smell is quite nourishing. Buy some. You buy a slice of the bread. It is pleasantly filling with a sweet, meaty texture. You thank the woman at the stall, then head over to the river to wait for the bridge to be lowered. After a while, a grizzled old man arrives and unlocks a small booth by the harbour bridge. He goes inside and closes the door behind him. Knock on the booth. Impatiently, you go over to the booth and knock firmly on the door. The old man lowers down the window and leans out of the booth. What you want? The dumpster's right out my window. Oh, okay, that's fair enough. Good morning. Ha! The man replies. Are you going to lower the bridge? Oh, beautiful day, isn't it? Are you going to lower the bridge? You ask, still trying to be polite. The man pulls a face, curling down the corners of his mouth. It's not yet time. When is time? The man leans into his booth to consult something. His head reappears a few moments later. Tide's gotta go down, he says. Okay, we'll wait. You wait another half an hour, enjoying the morning sunlight playing on the river. It feels like the first rest you have had since you left the outpost settlement. It's hard to imagine that had it not been for the Archmage and the Birdmen, you would never have made this journey, never explored the world outside the Shamanti wall. Keep waiting. You wait a little longer. Suddenly, there's a flurry of movement from inside the booth. The old man leaves his booth and goes over to a contraption on the waterfront. He begins to heave and wind an ancient winch. It seems to be quite hard work. He is trying to move the whole way to the bridge, single-handedly. I would help him out, but it's not something I know how to do. So I leave it to the professionals, is what I say. You let the man struggle and sit back in the sunshine and wait. Sweat beads on his forehead and he heaves and puffs as he works. but eventually the bridge clunks down into place. You salute the man cheerfully and get to your feet. Continue. Plus, also, we're on an adventure. Like, we got enough going on. You cross the bridge over the river Jabiji, which runs like a slime trail through the centre of the city. Halfway across, you hear a blood-curdling scream coming from somewhere. We could take our time, yeah. From somewhere on the bank you just left, but you let it go. Continue. The other side. You've reached the banks of Upper Care. The buildings here are not as grand as on the south side of the river, but they are in much better condition. Fewer people live on this side, away from the fields and the hills, but those that do are richer. They're most likely more dangerous. But of course, it is on this side of the city that the North Gate stands. And that is where we're going to call it, guys. You will have to come back tomorrow to finish off this chapter. I forgot that chapter 2 is quite a long one, so that seems like a good cliffhanger point. We've got all this side to explore, so yeah, tomorrow, probably about 7:30 again. I will be back, and let me just do that. And oh no, the music is gone. Hold on, guys. Add source. There we go. Let's give it a Lord of the Rings. It's nice, but we want Christmas. Yeah. So thank you for joining me, especially on Christmas Day, guys. I will be back tomorrow at 7:30, and we'll carry on this chapter. I hope you're all enjoying Sorcery and enjoying my reading. Thank you, Jackal. Thank you to Mooney for all the gifted subs. You really didn't have to. That's amazing. We have a raid target, so go show this guy, this person some love. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye, everyone. Bye bye.